isn't that have to do with like porn memes and stuff?
What?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stick to the Manga, your weekly manga. Fuck me.
Can I say it this time?
You want to say it, Gabby? Go ahead.
Hey everyone, welcome to. I don't even remember what you say. I just blanked. What are you saying? Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome to Stick It to the Manga podcast, a weekly podcast that we talk about a new anime every week, and you're here to enjoy it.
Wait, that's not even accurate!
I mean, he did better than you, Gabby.
That's fair, but still. Okay, Jake, it's your time to shine. Maybe next week I'll do it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stick It to the Manga, your weekly manga podcast, where each week we talk about a new manga. This week we're talking about The Promised Neverland, a recommendation by Kevin.
So, the summary for this week is Emma is a sibling of 38 orphans who live happily together and enjoy life to the fullest each day. Around ages 6 and 12, children are selected by Mama to be sent to a new foster home, or so they believe. One day, Emma was saying her final goodbyes to one of her siblings, Connie, when she noticed that she left her favorite toy bunny behind. Despite knowing the main rule of the orphanage was to not go past the gate or perimeter, Emma and Norman decide to return Connie's bunny. What the two orphans found within the gates changed their perspective on their life forever.
Woo! And this week we have Johnny with us.
Hello.
And we should probably put our disclaimer now.
Yep, after the summary, we're going to start talking about spoilers. So if you don't want to get spoiled about what happens in this manga, read to Chp.25, or watch half the anime, or, just keep listening and just deal with your regret of not being able to experience this by yourself.
Piece of art.
But you're definitely gonna get spoilers right away, because in chapter 1 you get a big one.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
I mean,
it's not.
Is it really a spoiler though? Because it's kind of the whole premise of the whole show.
I mean,
yeah.
I have known nothing about what this was, so if someone had told me that, it would have taken away a lot of the hook, line, and sinker of it for me.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody had come up to me like, hey, there's this cool new anime about, like, kids that are orphans getting farmed and fed to monsters, I'd be like, oh, alright, that seems interesting. It definitely wouldn't have been like alright, why do they have these tags on them? Like, why do they have the tattoos? And then
honestly,
suddenly...
I thought, first I thought it was just these 6-year-old kids who committed these like hatred crimes against humanity, and now they're in some sort of
prison.
But they were there since 1 year old, since babies. It says that in the beginning.
Their parents were the ones that committed the heinous crimes. Okay,
hey, this isn't Kevin. This isn't ancient Greece.
Perhaps it could easily have been like genetic engineering as well.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things it could have been.
Yes. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying I definitely would consider it a spoiler, because I personally, when it's written, like, it tells you, like, page 1 what the premises are, sure, go ahead and tell the people. But when it's something like this, that even if it's in chapter 1, it's at the end of chapter 1, so I think giving that premise away will spoil it, and it takes away a lot of the mystery and the puzzle solving for yourself that you get. Because if you went into this manga reading, oh, it's a farm, it's a people farm, then a lot of the subtlety that you get with the numbers and how they're feeding them well is less creepy if you were given that premise originally.
Yeah, and that's kind of where my thought pattern was going when I wrote the summary. Because I was like, I know that the summary is supposed to not give spoilers for the people that, like, that just want to know the summary. So I wrote it in mind of trying not to spoil the whole farm premise until we started to talk about the farm and everything like that. And I feel I did a good job on not spoiling anything in the beginning, but I could be wrong. Just say boo Kevin in the chats if you think so.
Boo Kevin.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter which region you're from. Kevin is apparently always the screw up. And I can confirm this from PD Police from Netflix. Not sponsored. Either way, I don't know why I went off on that tangent.
It's all good.
Old McMama had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm, she had an orphan.
Many
she had
orphans.
38, to be exact. 38 orphans.
But, yeah, I guess the total goes down to 37 when Connie dies, but then it goes up again because they get another baby, I think.
Yeah.
They do get another baby, and that's how they learn. Like, I don't want to say, we'll get to the talking point, but I, kind of want to say it, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, about the new baby, and
well, let's just start at the beginning, then.
Okay, well, it started in 2015.
No.
Where...
No,
it doesn't.
Not...
It starts in around 2047. I did the math. So Mama was born in 2019 and she's 26. So doing the math, the year is 2047.
Wait, I thought that was Sister Crone. That was
Sister Crone. But she's still...
Yeah. Mama was born in 2014.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
But my point still stands. My math is right.
Yeah, the math is correct, yes.
Which was my main point. So 2015 is the last few years they see of things from human literature and stuff.
But what exactly happens? COVID-19. What happened to humanity? What happened to? Well, I mean, that's the start of it. Next, we'll see the demons.
Jake, Kevin, that's the biggest mystery that we don't know.
I mean, I think we already have a baby-eating demon running the United States, so...
Or the world.
Well,
I don't really know where this is.
I mean, the day that our baby demon makes a government pact with the frickin' demon, actual demons, that's when I'll be scared. The demons that actually eat children, that's the scary thing.
Here's my secret to not being scared of potential demons.
A shotgun.
No, it's that I'm always scared.
Or here's another thing. We all are fighting our demons. So
that was a little too introspective.
Get out of here.
Okay, so
I'm 14 and this is deep.
Yeah. I actually really liked how Chapter 1 was 50 pages long versus the usual 20 pages for this chapter length in this manga.
It just felt drawn out, though, for Chapter 1. It was okay. But at the same time, it was I want to keep reading. Chapter 1 does a really good job of hooking you.
So,
really
Kevin,
good job.
That's a lot of contradictory statements right there.
What do you mean?
But whatever.
I'm a walking contradictory.
All right. Kevin's in a mood today, everyone.
Well, let's just say I'm running on caffeine and no sleep. So I'm good. Let's do this.
Excuse me.
Sleep is for the weak.
Okay, though this author is definitely a little bit evil because the fact she chose Connie to be the one that we first witnessed, she was so cute and so sweet, and she asked if her clothes looked okay, for when they would be moving on, and I'm just, oh, that hurt.
You know what though? The thing though is they had to show how evil these monsters were. Like, I mean, yeah, they could have chosen one of the older kids, but then it wouldn't be as much of a what the fuck factor.
Oh no, I definitely that was my point. Like, that's why I said the author's a little bit evil for doing that. I understand why they did it, but I still think they're evil for it.
I mean,
yeah,
they have to be a little sadistic just to come up with this idea.
Well, I mean, I wonder what goes through Mongaku's heads when they think of I just picture just this big beam of light just striking down on Mongaku's head, just being like, I know what is shocking and hasn't been done yet. Child farming.
The way that you say that.
This is how he always speaks, but a little bit worse from caffeine and lack of sleep, I think.
Oh man.
Don't
I really hate how I hate how her limp body was put into a jar. That really peeved me off. It wasn't just like a container. No, it was like a giant pickle jar.
It was like a septic tank of some kind.
It looked like a pickle jar.
Honestly,
pickled human brains.
That's what it looked like, and that's why I didn't appreciate it.
Brains.
Well,
they should have thrown some garlic in there.
Well, now that we're talking about the subject about human brains, like, that makes me really think. Like, do you think they use the whole human body for everything? Like nails for like certain type of things, the teeth, like.
I mean, probably. I mean, there's a certain, if you think about like animal farming, like we actually go through today. I don't know why my voice cracked, but whatever. Moving past that, we most businesses sell like all parts of the animal, and then usually it's like most of the bones are like burned or whatever, or like put in a pile or whatever.
Teeth for treats.
Yeah, but most things are used, like entrails, organs. Most things are used.
Or hair would be for sweaters.
What if a demon wants to rock a wig?
I mean, they make good wigs.
Well, I mean, you could always, what's that called when you braid your hair? Not braiding, or dreads. They could always lock small dreads into like human clothing and walk around in like human hair coats or something.
Stop.
That's disgusting. Thank you for that, Kevin.
This is awful.
You know, I'm just gonna go back to only thinking about them eating the sweet, delicious, succulent brains.
See, I don't even think that, like, I know in some cultures they eat the brains.
Just like in Indiana Jones.
Yes, but I don't think it's that.
What does brain have?
But I don't think it's
brains.
I know. I know it wasn't people. I'm just saying, in general, brains are like a dish, but I don't think it's like that popular of a dish. Like, I think there's so many more things that are more popular.
Well,
yeah, like cow tongue is more popular.
Let's just think about this, though.
Do you think they eat the
tacos de lengua?
Like, let's just think about this, though. Like, monkey brains are so far different from human brains, but do you think if they were a delicacy, like monkey brains were that much of a delicacy, they would be risen on a farm as well for the same purpose?
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
I mean, do you realize that cows have as much intelligence as dogs? They're very cute, playful. They can have favorites and best friends and toys. They're like the same exact animal in different bodies. But it's cultural, like how we think about things.
Yeah, no, but my whole, like, is there just no more animals? Like, why resort to, like,
because they're demons. Children? And most things, most demons like eating people. In most things that I've read.
But
That's kind of like common.
Stereotypical demons. Like they're
no shit. Nothing is completely original. Most people take things from other things. That's literally just storytelling.
It would be interesting to be like, oh, well, we ran out of food. What's easy to breed and manage in order for food, because we're assuming there's no animals at this point, though, or vegetables.
But demons eat people. Again, stereotypically, demons eat people.
Yeah.
So they don't need to make animals. Like who would want to read a manga where it's like, oh, look at the thoughts of these cows and pigeons, like they're gonna get eaten, but not by people. Plot twist, demons. That's not exciting. We're humans, so seeing humans being eaten by things is much more interesting at a basic level.
Yeah, but it's just like you have to think of the condition of the world that the world could be in too. Like, I'm just saying there must be a deeper reason than just, oh, kids and humans are getting eaten.
Of course more goes into it, but it still is, the baseline is that demons eat people, and clearly they like the way kids taste, which is like veal.
Don't take that out of context, everyone.
Yeah, please don't take that out of context. I say a lot of things taken out of... Jake likes to threaten me with my out of context clips. I prefer if other people don't do that.
But what I'm trying to get at, though, is it's not just the kids that are getting eaten too. Like, they kill Corone, and they probably eat her too. And
are you talking about Corone?
They killed Corone.
Yeah, you just said her name weird that I wasn't sure who you were talking about.
Yeah, it almost sounded like you were saying coronavirus.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Virus.
Yeah, I heard corona, and I was like, what?
No, I said Corone.
It's just Corone.
Yeah, it's
so
Corone.
the other... That's what I said.
No. You're saying Corone.
Okay. Well, let's all pray to God that Kevin can say one name right.
Hey, literally, this... Okay, can we just talk about how so many times before this podcast, we're all on Discord talking, and I'm trying to help you because you pronounce one of the names wrong. I correct you. You still say it wrong. So honestly, Kevin, you dug your own holes. But we're moving on. We don't actually know if Crone was used as meat, though. She was killed. Yeah. We don't know if she was used as meat.
Though
Go ahead, Johnny.
I remember in the anime that they actually that demon did ended up just eating her whole.
Oh, that's interesting. In the manga, that definitely did not happen.
Yeah, they didn't show that. Maybe I'm misremembering, but in the anime, I think that they did that. They just ate her whole.
Well, mommas are orphans too. So I mean, I don't see why they would get out of the death penalty like the kids. I have a feeling mommas have their own drama and fear of when they're going to get harvested.
Well, they don't. No, not necessarily harvested, but they do go into like Crone and her thing. She goes into, it's all about competing and being better than everyone else, so you can get better farms to work at.
That and they also don't want to blow up. So.
Oh yeah, that too.
They kind of have to do what they do.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking I want more context for the situation, but we're just not there yet because I'm kind of curious. Like, you said the demon in the anime ate her whole. In the manga, she was just like dead. Yeah, if you're right, I'm trusting you.
I don't know if I would do that.
If that
my
doesn't,
memory's not that great.
If that didn't happen, I'm just interested to say, would they just like throw them to the side, or would they be considered some like old grown meat, which sounds gross, but
I made this I kind of put this together when I was reading it, but it reminded me of like a fruit where they wanted to eat it when it was most ripe.
Yeah, that's why I said like veal.
Yeah.
So then that
younger
means,
meat tends
like,
to be more tender. Anyway.
that means
Yeah.
there's like no grandmothers then. Actually, there was one grandmother, but
Yeah,
that
but
means
grandmother
the
turned into a
head.
demon.
She's not the demon.
Oh, I thought she
is
turned into the demon because she was
No,
talking to her, and then that
no.
demon
No.
appeared.
no, she was walking away as the demons were showing up, or the demons
Yeah.
showed up.
Okay. It was all kind of dark and gloomy, so I feel like
I'm be
my
real
Well,
honest
yeah,
with you
understanding wasn't
guys.
that bad.
This entire time you guys have been talking, I've just been looking up what brain tastes like.
Oh
I mean,
my
it probably
gosh.
tastes
And
like
what
a
the
lot of other
texture
organs.
is.
It's squishy.
When
I've
I
touched
see
a brain
brain, it
before.
makes me think of shrimp.
Ew. I don't like that at all. One time, one of my teachers made like a Jello brain mold, like a Jello, and then I saw it and I like tried to take a bite of it, but then I almost vomited.
Ew.
Just because I couldn't it just looked like I was eating a brain, so I couldn't do it.
Oh, did they make it opaque too? So it was like.
I honestly don't remember. I just remember almost getting sick.
There's a lot of people with like Jello throw up stories.
I
That's
mean,
weird.
I
I've
also
never
have a
had
story at Halloween where it was like guts, and like you stuck your hand in to touch it, and I knew that it was spaghetti and meatballs because I saw the lady do it, but I reached my hand in there and I touched it and I vomited.
Oh
I
my
have a very intense imagination, especially as a
That's
child.
That's really weird, actually. Like, I know what you're going through, Gabby, because there's certain, like, I'm getting into a lot of reality TV shows that is not anime. Shocker, but like I was saying, what I'm trying to say is, like, somebody will, like, cut off, like, somebody's head will get cut off, or I'll see, like, organs or something, and my whole body will just feel like I'm actually getting cut. It's really weird.
That is not anything like what I said.
I mean, it's a little
Okay,
bit.
moving on. Ugh.
Oh boy.
Oh, come on, it's not as bad as our Tokyo Ghoul episode.
Which one?
Actually,
all of them.
Actually, this one might be a little bit worse with content. We're going to definitely need an 18+ warning on our thing.
Why would we need 18 plus?
I don't
No,
think
I think so.
It's just gore.
Yeah,
I didn't put an
but
18 plus thing on our Tokyo Ghoul one. The only ones I've marked as 18 plus is where we discuss suicide,
Ichi.
boobs, like Monster Musume was 18 plus.
When did we talk about suicide?
Osama game.
Bruh.
Oh,
Bruh.
right, Osama game.
Okay.
But
I think the time period they chose for this manga was really interesting because all of the stuff that they're referencing, like 2019, 2015, that stuff, that's like relevant to us now. But then you realize that that's not the current date, that it's actually like close to 2050. And I think that was an interesting choice.
It's like, I want to see some of the modern day tech, though. Like they obviously were showing things like Game Boy and
they said
like that.
Well, they did
Instasnap cameras.
Yeah, I mean, they did say that Ray, like, she found them, so they're probably just older things from the past. And if there's not many humans around, that makes sense that there's not more stuff. Also, if he's reading stuff from like the 2010s, that probably is all he's aware of. He doesn't know about futuristic technology that he hasn't read about.
Also, it begs the question that means human civilization and human history is probably about the same up until a certain point, which also begs the question: where did the demons come from? How did they come into power? That kind of thing.
They've been living amongst us for years. It's just that we just haven't realized it yet. I'm starting to realize that I have to sit in a specific way for my audio to sound okay. Because if I'm over here, it sounds really like I'm sitting in an empty room.
Yep.
But if I'm here, it sounds pretty normal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be a nice... It's an all-right effect. If you think about it, it gives the effect that we're all sitting in the same room talking. So...
Over here.
So can we start, since we're on the topic of the different items, can we talk about, like, the books and the Morse code?
That was so clever. I love Morse code.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, like, I wonder, was it another child that figured it out, or was it an adult?
Well, Emma figured it out.
Well, it said that it was an adult
that wrote them, but Emma figured it out.
Yeah. Like, what would be interesting if it was a mother who wrote the book?
No, it was a scientist.
What would be the purpose?
It was not a scientist, but it was like Minerva. That dude, Henry Minerva, something like that.
Yeah, but he's probably long dead if you think about it. Like,
he might be. I think he's probably just old.
He would be very old, but it would be like, okay, so are you, like, if you are still alive, are you a girl? Are you a boy? Are you a mother? Are you, like, what was the purpose of you trying to warn us? And, like, what made you decide to warn us? Like, when did you gain a conscience? And
I mean,
are you fighting back?
He didn't write that many clues. He wrote, like, one word per logo that were, like, don't trust. Things like that.
Run.
Like, they weren't... run. There wasn't that many clues besides a few words. So it would take a really exceptional kid, because most of them get sent out at 6 or 12 in order to figure this out. Also a snooping kid.
Also, like, the person who actually figured out the Morse code first was actually, like, a 6-year-old. And he was like, look, this word can read farm.
Oh, right. You're right.
Yeah, Phil.
Phil did it first.
Also, I have a theory. That Minerva is the scientist that deals with the demons. Because he must be...
grandmother?
No,
not grandmother. No. Grandmother is, like...
a different
person. She is the head honcho for all the humans that are living under and serving the demons. She is basically the queen of humanity. She is on the same level and same standing as the demons.
Yeah, but what's also really interesting is why only female? Like, is that to do, like, because
maybe female brains are less tasty?
I can't say anything, actually.
Yeah,
like,
hush.
Yeah, hush if you've seen it, but I mean, like,
it probably has something to do with that. Like, I feel like in the, like, psychologically, like, women just tend to be more approachable, and people tend to trust women faster than they trust men.
Yep. But that begs the question: do they keep smart children like Norman and? Like,
well, no. If they have perfect scores, that makes them have a higher score in the meat terms of them being eaten.
It makes them more delicious.
I mean, why only female though?
But that's one of the things I think is really interesting, because in a lot of, like, books and history and stuff, like, women being the nurturing mother type, that gets them killed, or they're useless, or they're stay in the kitchen type thing. So I think it's really funny that in this time that women actually survive because of this reason, at least in terms of past 12 years old. I found that really interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, and these women will pretty much do anything to survive, even go under an operation to, like, put a chip on their heart.
Well, that wasn't that. Like, it was either take the chip or die and be eaten. It's not like, I think if you're in this situation, you'd be like, sure, I'll do this operation because I don't want to die yet. It's kind of, it just makes sense in that regard.
Well, it's human instinct to want to live. Well, for most people.
However, there are a lot of cases where it kind of this whole mom thing, like this just means it's just a whole big case of what is morality versus survival in this case, and they chose survival over morality.
But I think,
well, I mean, which is fine because that's human instinct. But I mean, it's like, how can you live, like, going through this, living with, like, even Emma was like, how can the mamas go through this and still want to produce human goods for these demons?
Well, like, that's the fun thing about, like, if you start looking into, like, human psychology and trauma, in order to protect yourself, your brain can it can make things a lot more easy. It's like, I have to do this to survive. And then you just convince yourself it's normal. And then it's normal, so they just do it.
But they enjoy doing it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but they enjoy doing it.
Because the little kids love them. And they get all sorts of, like, oh, I love you. Like, they get hugs. They're fulfilling something. And yeah, there's a bad end, but still, it's either that, it's like, do a good job, get praised, potentially get higher up, or don't do a good job and die.
Why be sad that it's over when you can be happy that it even happened? You know?
And when you look at Sister Crone, she actually explained that because she's in the situation and she made the choice to survive, the only way to live like a fulfilling life that in this world is to be a mother, is to have enjoyment of raising these kids, even if it is just for them to get slaughtered. They still very much do have feelings for these children.
Also, I'm agreeing with you, Johnny. It kind of sounds terrible to say, but imagine, like, at least in terms before her very end, Connie had such a happy life. Like, she felt loved, she was excited until, like, her death, which hopefully was quick through the heart. But, like, it's awful, but it's one of those things that you can't, it's what they have to do in order to survive. And they're also being raised, like, once they hit 12 or whatever, and it's like, oh, you can either die or be a mama to the girls, then it's like Crone, like, she said compete like 20 times, I feel like, because they were completely raised to be like, do better, do better, do better. Like, you can be trained to believe things. Like, people who come up with terrible upbringings thinking it's fine. Like, it's just how the brain works if you've been quote unquote trained that way.
But at the same time, what you're describing is a patient of Stockholm syndrome, pretty much.
I'm not sure if it's stock. No.
At least for the mothers. At least for the mothers, it's Stockholm syndrome.
No. Do they ever, like, express, like, I love working for them? Because then I could see it being like Stockholm.
No, even in the anime,
it's hinted that they enjoy it though.
But like, they don't enjoy solely for the demon's sake. They enjoy it for their own sanity.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a very big difference.
And let's be clear that Stockholm Syndrome is feelings of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage situations. So a good example of Stockholm Syndrome is Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, 100%.
If you want a good,
100%.
It's that you know you're kidnapped. In a lot of these cases, they don't really know they're kidnapped.
Yeah.
They're like, I wouldn't say this is Stockholm Syndrome, but I get what you're trying to say.
But it's along the lines of that. Like,
No.
especially for the mama.
No, Kevin.
Especially for the mamas.
No.
Like maybe for the
No,
very
because
first
they
children.
don't have any affections to their captors, which would be the demons. They have none of that. They're just doing this to survive. Just because they enjoy their role of being loved by children doesn't mean that they love their role of living with demons. They want to live, Kevin.
But the demons and humans, like the ones that are coexisting, are actually
but
like,
it's still not
they
coexisting
see
because
each other as equals.
But I don't think that's true.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
they
definitely
did
not
say
Stockholm
that
syndrome
they were.
at all.
They did say that the demons, that the humans that are living on the outside are living as equals, but
I thought
but
that
it's
was
not,
like a guess. Like I didn't think that was a certain statement.
It's only specific. It's very specific humans that are treated as such.
Okay, but still, my point stands that even if they are considered equals, the demon at any point could just, kill them and eat them whole.
Yep.
So I still would not consider that to be equal at all. And it's not Stockholm syndrome.
No,
it's not.
There's a word out there for it, but it's definitely like, I don't know what you would call it, but
Nothing good, that's for sure.
yeah, it's definitely mass genocide, that's for sure.
I don't know if it's even genocide.
Yeah, genocide is killing lots of people at one time.
Yeah,
usually.
Genocide would have the goal of getting rid of humans.
Yeah, they're just trying to eat them.
But
they're not trying to get rid of them. They're farming them like
food.
Animals.
They're basically cows. They're sheep.
Yes, they're cows. Sheep, chickens, but it's not.
Pigs.
It's not.
Oh, now I want bacon.
It's not.
Well, but if we do look at it, those children are being really, like, if you think about like the way how we raise some of our food sometimes, like free range chickens, for example, they're happy before they get slaughtered and stuff too.
I mean,
they're treated really well.
Most free range things aren't actually free range, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, you could literally just have like a 20-foot square pen and like be like, yeah, they're free range.
Yeah.
There's a lot of. So you're saying they're lying to us?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Kevin.
The term organic and natural on products basically means nothing.
Okay, that's not, the organic is not true. In order to label your food as organic, you have to pay a large sum. So most local farms that are indeed organic, they can't advertise that they are because it costs so much money in order to get the rights to write that on your packaging. That I know for a fact. Because that's
Did you grow carrots or something?
But like, stuff being
no,
organic doesn't make it better for you.
Huh?
Stuff being organic doesn't make it better for you.
No, actually, but it does take away. That's arguable if you really want to go there, but it's about pesticides. Like organic food doesn't use any pesticides or extra chemicals.
Yeah, just wash your
their food. I know. I'm not arguing that point. I'm saying that organic does mean something.
I just think that organic just plays to dumb people.
That's not true though, because there's certain products where I'm
let's just get back to the manga, please.
Yeah, let's do that.
For the love of God.
So one thing that really struck me as interesting is the dramatic change in the art style. When it like shows the more intense parts of it. Like, it goes. Yeah, like when.
Do you mean like Caron's?
Yeah, just
murder.
Caron. Just anytime Caron's in frame.
Oh my god, Johnny started saying it.
He did.
It's spreading.
Johnny, you said Corona.
Oh gosh, dang it! No.
It's the coronavirus.
It's the coronavirus.
Sister Corona. 19.
Sister Corona. Oh no.
It's not Corona.
She was born in 2019.
Anyways.
I say Corona. I don't say Corona.
It's not Corona either. It's Crone.
Anyway,
okay,
Sister Crone.
whatever.
Anytime that Sister Crone is in the panel, and any very intense part in the, like when they show demons, all of a sudden everything is very gritty, very evil. And
yes.
It's a very stark contrast to the naturally happy-go-lucky art style.
Yes, I sent a picture in the group in planning of. I sent the wrong one first, but like that scene when Sister Crone like leans over them, that was so scary.
Which chat?
Planning.
Let me see.
But my mom said her eyes look like cucumbers, and I still can't get over that.
Oh, geez, she looks so demonic. And they do look like cucumbers.
They do. That's weird.
But anyways, I completely agree with you. It's specifically, I felt that I love that change personally. I think it makes everything seem more intense and awesome. And also, these demons are fucking huge. But besides that,
yeah, they're massive.
I love when you first see the change in the art style at the end of chapter 1 with Connie's death, because it makes my heart break even more.
I wonder if those are like the demons from like hell. Like if it's even a possibility, they could be the demons from hell, and everybody was just like, I thought this was all legend and bullshit stories.
I don't think they're demons. I think they're actually like alien invaders, because when they when the kids like oh, you like talk about the demons to Sister Crone, she's like demons? Oh, you mean them?
Yeah, the weird thing is they don't exactly mention what they are exactly. They just realize, oh, you're calling them demons? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, they're like, that's not what we call them.
I bet you they have a regular everyday human life too.
I don't know.
Like,
did you see that guy's name?
Yeah, not even like letters.
But I could still picture them a day at work eating human brains, and a day at work at the office where they're typing on the computer or something, and then or whatever they use, and then they go home to their family and eat brains around the table and pray and stuff and whatever.
Brains.
Like, I could just see them living normal lives. And
I could not. They're ginormous and ugly.
Do you guys ever watch The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Yes.
You guys remember the brains episode? Where like the alien comes down and he gets Billy to like gather everybody in town so he can eat their brains.
No, I don't remember that episode, actually.
Oh, that's a really good episode. Anyway. When we started talking about brains, I was like, oh my god, I remember that thing. Emma's pure. I think Emma's really the most pure, like manga character I've ever seen.
She's definitely up there. She's definitely
pure, but I mean, like, it just feel like you would think Norman and Ray are pure like Emma, but they really are more corrupt and more conniving than any of them.
When it comes to Ray and Norman, they are more on the logical side. More Ray than Norman, but the thing, when you step back and look at it from a thematical perspective, when you look at the three main characters, I am stumbling over my words. Oh my gosh. Emma and Ray are basically two. They're two opposites basically, and then there's Norman, who's kind of a blend between the two. Emma is more of the more moral type who is smart and athletic, and she wants to save everyone, and she's very idealistic, as opposed to Ray, who's more cynical and intelligent and strategic, but he's very idealistic, or not idealistic,
with
realistic.
Emma though, I noticed that there was times when she was just dumb or naive to some certain situations. Like
she's 11.
Yes, but
let's not forget that, please. She was 11 and raised in this house. Like, of course she's going to be ignorant and naive to a lot of things. She's 11 and she was raised as pretty produce. I said it for the alliteration, even though they're meat.
Well, with that being said, though, Emma doesn't really have an excuse because she's high up there with Norman and Ray, like one of the smartest people there. Yet there's some things, like some mysteries, that's like she has absolutely no idea how to solve, and then Ray comes by and is like, boop, you just need to push this button. Or Norman, just boop, you just need to push this button.
Well,
that was right beside this other button.
There's a difference between Ray and Norman and Emma. Emma doesn't get. She might get a 100%, a perfect score on the test that they do every day. But the problem is she doesn't seem to know how to put a lot of it
into practice.
Into practice, thank you. And a lot of the stuff is also that they're currently doing is more strategic battle tactics. That's and escape tactics. That's what their focus. Their focus on the test is different. So and Norman and Ray, their brains are wired to comprehend that more than Emma is.
Yeah. Emma seems to be good at just the scores and stuff, but when they first play tag, before you figure out anything's wrong, Norman beats her and catches her because she's not good at like putting it into practice, as previously said. And then Norman's really smart, but none of them had any reason to suspect. Ray probably has like the most there because he suspected it and then became the spy. So that, caused
it's not
him
even
to be more informed, but it's not like I wouldn't.
It's not a matter of who discovered the farm and who's smarter or who's not. It's more like just some things make sense in theory that don't make sense in real life, like life in general.
I don't understand what your point was. You started in location A and you ended in location F, and I'm not sure how you got there.
Okay, well, we were talking about just the intelligence level, right?
You were saying Emma was really ignorant and naive at a lot of times.
Yes,
and we were trying to explain why she was that way, and then you didn't respond to that back to your original point. You started talking about life.
That and a lot of the points you were talking about aren't exactly her being naive per se or ignorant, just not understanding.
Well, of course they're not going to understand about the farm. That's not what I'm getting at. It's more like small tasks. Like everybody knows 1 + 1 is 2, but it's for some reason Emma's 1 + 1 is 3.
She's never done. I never got any of that when I read this.
What? Yeah, I don't know where you're coming from here, Kevin.
Yeah, literally, what are you? talking about? I don't know where you're getting this from.
Like she doesn't have a grasp on strategy. That's like the only real thing that they like talk about is like she doesn't have a grasp on strategy, and she doesn't quite get that they're not going to be able to save everyone.
But to me,
Yeah,
that she just sounds. But how is that 1 + 1 = 3? Like, that's literally just her being an 11-year-old who wants to save all of her siblings. Like, that doesn't make her stupid or ignorant in my eyes. I mean, a little ignorant, but it doesn't make her, like...
how are you going to save 38 people, at which 13 of them are under the age of 6? Like, how are you supposed to carry out all the 3-year-olds? And
the newborn.
And the
newborns.
Well,
there's a whole group of them.
Newborns.
And as well as take out their chip in their ear. Like, how are they supposed to manage all of that?
Pop it like a pimple. That's all you need to do.
But this is what I'm saying is, like, I don't think...
Ray figured it out, though.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of her wanting to do that, I literally just think that makes her an idealistic 11-year-old. Like, she just wants the best case scenario. And she thinks she can make it happen. I don't think that makes her, like, 1 + 1 = 3. Like, what the hell? Like, you're thinking about this from the wrong direction. Like, you really need to keep in mind that she's an 11-year-old that was groomed her entire life. I know what you're trying to say, Kevin. You've said a lot of it.
I'm not saying she's stupid. I'm not saying she's stupid. I'm saying that her perspective is completely different. Like that's the whole 1 + 1 = 3. Like,
because they have different outlooks. Ray has known for a long time and wants to save himself. Emma just recently found out, and she's thinking that she wants to save her family. Norman is thinking that he mostly wants to save Emma.
I get where Kevin is coming from, but his analogy was bad. What he should have gone for was... Well, everybody knows that 1 + 1 = 2, but Emma thinks like, oh, 1 + 1 = 11. Kind of deal.
Okay, yeah, that
doesn't make sense. A little
more sense. Because you put 2 1s together to make 11. So she's like, oh, yeah, you get a better thing if you just put them together.
Or you make or you make a window.
I still don't.
Wait,
like that. I still don't like either.
Come from?
Well, 2 crosses
to the window.
1 + 1
to the wall.
Well, you would need 4 more crosses to be the border of the window. But anyways, getting away from that stupid point.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is a fucking train wreck.
Well, like I said, I'm running on only 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I got that, Kevin.
Been there, done that.
And I'm high on caffeine.
That's the best time. That's the best time to record. What are you talking about?
I definitely disagree with that statement as a co-host.
Hey, look.
Well, at least I don't record when I'm high.
Oh!
None of you are gonna be up at 2 a.m. editing this, so...
See, I'm not sure what that roast was supposed to be, Kevin, because neither are Jake and I. Like, you're the only possible one who would record when they're high. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying at least I don't record when I'm high.
Okay.
That wasn't meant to be a roast.
It sounded like you were trying to roast Jake and I, and I'm like, what?
No!
That's not what I got out of it.
No. Either way, I'm just gonna put it out there. I am like pro pot, so said. Done.
Okay.
Said.
Oh,
what you want.
I get what I'm. I get what you're. No, let me speak. Thank you. I get what you're trying to say now, Kevin, but I still don't completely agree with it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done now. Jesus Christ.
Are we talking about like 1 + 1 = 11? Are we talking about that, or are we talking about?
We're talking about your point when you use. No. Oh my Jesus Christ. Why would I casually just be like, let's talk about No.
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
Wait, are we talking about Uno now?
On my way to kill myself.
Monopoly.
Okay, I think we're all just losing it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think I'm starting to hate men. I'm just kidding.
Hold on, I gotta send a message on Discord.
Okay,
Can you stop?
Okay, but anyway, is there
Jake, you wanna
anything else
fight?
we didn't? Is there anything else we really didn't touch up on with these 25 chapters? Because I mean,
Well, there is
almost...
a lot of things that's gone on. Like, there is one thing that bugs that I actually didn't notice in the anime. The fact that that Mama only let the girls take care of the children.
But that's just how their society works.
No,
Nope,
actually,
apparently
they explained it that that's just a rule for that their mom came up with.
But they make it sound
Yeah.
like with Sister Crone that there's only ever women. At least when I read it, that's what it sounded like to me.
No,
No,
because Sister
not
Crone
that
says,
with
like,
men.
she found it weird that only the girls could take care of the infants.
Yeah.
Like, she found it strange.
That sounds strange as like the symbolic of the flowers. Like, that's one of those strange mysteries that will probably not be solved until like later on. Maybe they explain why only the males take care of the children. Like, I assume it's because like Mama is hoping to produce not just high quality meat, but high quality mamas as well. Like, that could be the whole reason with the whole taking care of the infants, because like the adults are not stupid. Like, that's one thing that makes the whole
They're
premise
far
of the
from
story.
it, actually.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, like, we have scenes where it's literally like a Death Note battle between L and Kira. Well, Light, I should say, not Kira. But it's still like one of those intensive mind games that you just, in the end, are like, okay, well, how are the children going to get past this one?
There's also the question of what is the thing that Ray is making to break the machine? Because quite honestly, I don't even remember.
I think it's gonna be an EMP.
It's really interesting,
Well,
though, because he has...
for some reason, a camera is required.
He's probably
know
using
what-
some of the parts from the camera.
From what I know about electronics, for sure, like a very basic thing about electronics is if you put any type of magnet on them, they break. So I wonder if Ray is making like a big, like, some sort of magnet to wipe out the chip, or some sort of extractor for the chip. Like a lot of the parts were extremely interesting, like rope, pesticides, and I can't remember what the other thing was. Pesticide and herbicide.
Some kind of chemicals.
Let's see what else there was. Like video game consoles. We had the books that were specially brought in for Ray. So a lot of what Ray got was probably he found the information from one of the books that Mama brought in for him. Like,
You think that's how he figured it out?
like, it's gotta be, because Mama seems to leave a hint. Like, she always leaves a hint on how what her next move is going to be, because for some reason Mama is extremely cocky.
Well, the thing is, the only reason why she was doing that was to control them, and she only started doing that as soon as she realized, uh-oh, these kids are starting to figure it out. So that was her way of controlling them, giving them hints, egging them on until they basically trapped themselves, which at the end they ended up doing.
Also, it's implied that Ray was sacrificing the other kids by deactivating their chips in his experiments to figure out how to do it.
Oh yeah,
I forgot that was implied.
I completely forgot about that.
And I think that he did that to Connie so he could set up this chain of events.
I mean, he did fess up to most of the other things, so that would make sense, because he fessed up to stealing her bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Connie's shipment date was probably, like, from what it looks like, Connie didn't seem like the smartest 6-year-old out of all the group, and it has to do with their scores. So it could have been just Connie's time to go, and that Ray just used it as an opportunity to set everything up.
But, I mean, sure, but also he had to put some other things into action first. And also you can tell that he lies about some things and tells the truth about others. So I think it would make sense.
He's just a traitorous person altogether.
I don't necessarily think he's traitorous.
Betrays the family,
he's
betrays
very
mother.
Cunning.
I would say he's cunning and trying to survive. I wouldn't necessarily say.
I'm just now realizing this, but I feel like, have you guys seen Code Geass or read the manga or whatever?
No. Yes, I've seen Code Geass.
He reminds me of Lelouch in a way. He has a goal and he doesn't care who gets hurt.
Actually, Lelouch was thinking of the greater good, though, and was thinking of all humanity, all of Japan, because he's Japanese.
True.
So, actually, no, he wasn't Japanese. He's not Japanese.
He wasn't even Japanese. No.
No, but he was a royal. He was in line for one of the thrones. But that's besides the point. The point being, the point of you comparing those two characters is not really that similar because, like, Lelouch.
Well, I was more referring to his like battle tactics, the way he easily sacrifices the tools around him and the things that in order to gain some kind of goal.
Yeah, but Lelouch also did not put anybody in necessary sacrifices like Ray did.
I mean, to Ray, they weren't unnecessary sacrifices. They were meant to reach the goal he was going for.
Which is to eventually save himself.
Save himself, Norman, and Emma. Those were the only 3 people he cared about.
Oh?
Like, the way that I think about it is Ray must have really hated the children he sacrificed to figure out the chip.
I don't think that's it at all. I think he just realized that someone had to be the sacrifice, and if he failed, he was going to die. And other people are going to continue to die even when he left.
I think it says that he had access to see, like, who was getting shipped out next, or he figured out, like, how they were doing it. So I think maybe he would go, like, oh, this person is getting shipped out, so I'm going to do my experiment on them, like, the day they got shipped out.
I don't think he hates them, though.
No, he doesn't necessarily hate them.
That would make a lot of sense, but wouldn't you want to tell Emma how to remove the chip, and then so she could try with the 3-year-olds? Because what are they going to do with the 3-year-olds? They're not going to ship them prematurely.
They can't take the chip out until they're escaping because it could alert them when it's broken.
Yes, like it's
So they can't just
explained,
try preemptively.
Like Crone said, it does. There's an alarm that goes off.
And I feel like
that's my point.
Ray would not give that information to Emma because he thinks that Emma would just be like, okay, we do it now. And just go right for it. Just head on into it without really thinking about it first.
Well, I mean, I feel like they rushed a few things because, like, getting to around the escape plan, like, they gave 10 days to escape, but they had, like, 2 months to plan. So I just feel their plan is prematurely there, but
Kevin.
at the same time, it's smart at the same time because you're not suspecting it.
Exactly. That's the whole point. That's why they chose to do it quicker.
Sometimes plans in order to survive, you have to make risks, especially when it comes to be in enemy territory. And in their case, their enemy was someone who raised them. They know them better than they know themselves. Mom knows them better than they know themselves. And so they have to figure out they basically had to think outside their own comfort zone, and so they decided to rush it.
But here's another question for you. Do you think the mothers gain special abilities when they become mother or something from the demons? Because, like, there's scenes where Isabella is a lot faster than she's seen. Like,
I'm
that
not allowed
time
to
when
say anything.
Where, well, yeah, this is all speculation and theory. So it just feels that, like either the mothers are given part demon abilities to be able to, like, go super fast, or yeah, mothers have the trackers, but that time where Connie got lost in the forest with her bunny, Mama suspected her. I have to mute for a second. Someone's at my door.
Yeah, so, like, when the one girl was left in the woods, she, like, went there really fast with her tracker.
I'll be right there.
And also, like, Crone, like, when they do the tag game, like, she seems inhumanly fast. But that could also just be that she's an adult and they're children.
Versus kids. Adults have more...
They have longer strides.
Yeah, and they have stronger muscles.
Yeah.
More developed muscles.
Also, Sister Crone looks like she could bench press, like, a sumo.
All of the children. All of the children at the same time.
Like, she's a beefy woman.
She's built like crazy.
Well, I mean, I feel like they really made her look really deep. Like her character's design was meant to freak people the fuck out. But
really? You don't say.
But I mean,
cucumbers.
Cucumbers for eyes.
But I mean, some of the moments just seemed really intense with her. Like,
did he do that himself?
What did he do? I legitimately thought I disconnected again.
Kevin, why do you keep doing that?
What? Doing what?
You put yourself in... Jake?
It wasn't me.
Okay, then he did it himself.
I've had the Google Doc open for the last while.
Well, Discord has been messing up lately.
No, but he did this earlier. I'm pretty sure he did it to himself on accident.
No, I did it once to myself, but besides the point, I don't know why it booted me out.
Discord has problems.
Discord does have problems.
Well,
so
can't expect...
The other night when I was doing some research on The Promised Neverland, I saw an article saying that The Promised Neverland was, like, finishing next month, like,
The manga?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
How
I
many
got
chapters
that
does it
news
have?
too. Like
Almost 200.
100 and
Yeah, it's like 180 something. Last I checked.
That's a good length.
Yeah.
I'm currently reading One Piece.
That's what I was gonna say. At least it's not One Piece.
981 and counting.
No, thank you.
I think Pokemon is a lot worse though.
Yeah. Promised Neverland has exactly 180 chapters, and a new chapter is coming tomorrow. Not that we'll be reading that anytime soon.
We're not even close to that, but I mean, I'm wanting to call for a part two of this.
I'd be down for that.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I actually am enjoying the read, even though I've seen the manga.
This is why I think he's doing it. This is why I think he's doing it to himself.
What?
He's probably because he's on his phone, so he's probably accidentally clicking patrons.
Okay, I don't know if it's my phone or what's going on, so I missed what we were talking about.
Going for a part two?
Yeah, like I'm like
I'd be down.
Like the thing is this is like JoJo tier reading.
Like, this is better.
I'm sorry, did you say this is better than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yeah, but
are you wanting to fight me?
No, we're allowed to have different opinions.
Before I can say that.
I've also heard for JoJo's like not the first thing is better. That's what a lot of people tell me.
Yeah, the first part of JoJo's is the worst part.
Yeah, and that's the only part I've read, Jake.
So far, my favorite part is the second part.
I felt that it was a little bit. I felt that it was a little bit slow, but at the same time, I enjoyed the story and the mystery of like what happened. But now that like Dio is dead, with his head chopped off.
Okay, so Kevin, you talked about how like the One Piece has 981 episodes.
Yep. Chapters, but yeah.
Chapters. I think it has about that same amount of episodes too.
Yeah, solely because of the filler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And Kevin said it's not as bad as Pokemon. Pokemon has 1,114 episodes.
Wow.
And 23 movies.
One Piece doesn't hold a candle. Oh my gosh. I'm actually close to finishing One Piece.
I'm actually waiting for the dub that's supposed to be coming out soon.
Wait. So, where does the dub actually stop? Because I heard that they just stopped doing the dub for One Piece.
574.
Oh my gosh!
It's got a lot of catching up to do.
That's a lot of catching up to do. What the heck? You're missing out on a lot.
But here's the thing. The company that was doing the English dub for One Piece went out of business, and Funimation was actually the ones that decided, hey, we're going to continue with the One Piece dub. So they have a 13-episode release for sometime in the next this year or next year. But I don't see it coming out this year due to circumstances.
I'm going to make Johnny really angry right now.
Okay.
The 4Kids dub is the best dub of...
Yeah!
Yo, don't give it up, Luffy! Don't give it up, Nami! Don't give it up,
Zolo!
Give it up! Only for that song is it good.
Oh my gosh, it is the funniest stuff I've ever seen.
Oh, that reminds me of like Captain Sanji and his like like cigarettes turning into suckers and like guns turning
Oh my
into shower
God.
heads and
Although that's a great censorship way to use censorship. Is like, let's take this cigarette and turn it into a lollipop.
Honestly, it is. But the whole guns being water pistols?
That's hilarious.
It makes no goddamn sense, but it's so freaking funny.
It'd make it so much better if they looked like water pistols, but they shot real bullets.
Oh my god. They had to make an entire, and they had to hire a whole animator to do this too.
Yep.
Okay, we need to get back on topic. So, what's up with... So, Crone had this pen that had a message inside of it that she left for Ray to get.
Not just Ray, but just all three of them.
Yeah.
5 of them.
I feel that it's not a message. I feel like it's some sort of something a little more useful than a message.
What are you stirring?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
That's just my coffee, Gabby.
It's very clingy.
Cling, clang, cling, clang. Cling, clang, that's a Pokemon.
Yes,
I don't
it
doubt
is.
that in the slightest.
No, it is a Pokemon.
One of these days,
It's
Cheech and Chong will become a Pokemon. I swear. Like, everything becomes a Pokemon. Soon we'll have a computer screen Pokemon. Or a computer tower Pokemon. Or a laundry basket Pokemon.
There is technically
We have a washing machine Pokemon.
compute Pokemon.
That's actually Romton, and Romton transforms into any type of electronical type appliance.
Yeah. Rotom Dex is the worst thing to ever be added to Pokemon, by the way.
The what?
Rotom Dex.
Rolodex?
Rotom Dex in Sun and Moon. Anyway.
I don't understand that, like, the Rotom Dex, honestly.
It was annoying. I hated it. Anyway, Sister Crone communicated with the scientist when she was a child. The scientist that specifically deals with the demons that we see multiple times whenever they talk about, like, the demon society.
Yeah, from what it looks like, the person, it looks like maybe blonde hair and is male. It looks, from what I could see.
From what you can see of him, it's always like he's always standing in the same position and the same distance away. So it makes me think they just had this picture that they drew once and then just copied and pasted it and then just mirrored it when they needed to.
I just want to know how they're birthing kids, because they show up at the orphanage when they're 1 year old.
Cloning?
No.
It's revealed later on. It is revealed later on.
Yeah, I mean, I figured.
What was the
but I'm just
question?
saying.
What was the question?
I mean, they could have a bunch of different people that they're just like splicing their genes together to create embryos.
That would be really weird. Like, that would be really weird if there was only like 10, 15 humans and they all just
reproduced.
Yeah, with the
Went
same
to the bone
thing.
zone.
So, like there's like another Ray in like 2000 and
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
100, like an exact figure of Ray, like somebody who looks exactly like Ray, who acts exactly like him.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that there was like, if they were clones and they were just like using like a bunch of different, not like, I guess not clones is what I'm looking for, but like test tube babies.
Test tube babies, absolutely. But if they were clones, there would be more higher intelligence.
Would it be higher intelligence?
No, because if they cloned the kids they thought were intelligent, there would be an ultimate higher level. But it seems like sometimes they're struggling to get full scores. That's why I don't think it's clones.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to remember their brains is still developing. Like, most of them aren't going to even reach the mama stage. Like, most of them are going to get shipped. Like I could see Emma being a candidate for mama, but seeing the way how she acts, she would not want that. Or she would try to fight that. Or
I'm pretty sure she would take death now that she knows the secret. And also, it's said that this has happened before. Like, kids have found out the secret and have tried to escape before.
Well, yeah, it's hinted at with grandmother speaking the Corone, but like, I just don't like. I just can't believe that Mama has or Isabel has so much power over Corone that she could fake her death. Well, not fake her death, but like.
She probably just reported her to Grandma, because she's the favorite.
Well, yeah, because of her high quality producing goods. But with that being said, one wrong move and then there goes Isabel. But like they keep saying is they need her.
I wonder if grandmother raised Isabella.
That would be interesting.
Because it seems like she's like, Isabella's a special to her specifically. So I wonder if she raised Isabella specifically and like has favoritism for her. I feel like Johnny is screaming internally.
A little bit, yeah. Not gonna lie, because you guys are all asking the right questions that they all get revealed later.
Well, this is only supposed to be a 3-volume review and talk and share. It's not supposed to be like watch the whole thing and talk about it. Well, some of it has been.
I'm gonna read this week's manga and then just keep reading this.
I thought we were gonna do a part 2.
I want to do a part 2, but I feel like I need answers, so I need to read it. I'll read another 3 volumes.
I thought we were gonna read another 3 volumes next week.
We have another guest planned for next week. We got Star coming.
Next week's
Demon School.
Demon School.
Next week is Demon School.
Why does it feel like I'm so out of touch with the?
I didn't think it was Demon School. I thought we were reading a hentai next week.
That's what? The hentai is the week after. Look, Johnny, we're very experimental here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, has it already been 15 episodes?
I think it's actually, it's gonna be 15. No, it'll be 25 next, I think.
Okay,
or 20, something like that. But either way, I just had the idea. I was like, why don't we read a hentai? We keep saying that we're gonna read a hentai, but we still haven't.
So what number are we on? We're on 8. We're on our episode 18. It looks like. So it looks like Ultimo is our next one. If
No, we don't follow the Google Doc, Kevin. We follow the Google Sheet that is our calendar. Anyway, did we talk about the flowers?
Kevin mentioned it briefly.
I wonder if the flowers is the thing that they use to kill them, or if they kill them and then put the flower in.
Well, another thing is, what if they use that flour to flavor the meat before they eat them?
I don't think so.
I think it's more of a decorative thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
So just like a garnish? No, it wouldn't even be a garnish. It wouldn't even be
a garnish. A garnish is something that you eat
after it's cooked.
Yeah.
That's after it's cooked. Dude, yes. We get it.
Okay, so looking at the panel where Crone gets destroyed, they just It looks.
Which was Cheerful Days, by the way.
Okay. Okay, I need to go and look at this chapter. What chapter did she die in?
I'm pretty sure it was chapter 19 or 20. Somewhere around there, because it was just coming up where they made the deal with oh yeah, that's another thing we didn't talk about. Why we like I know that it says that Corone didn't have any power to ship them or anything, but why in the world would she want to team up with them? Like, I know it was all a farce.
Because she wanted to take down Isabella. She says that specifically.
Yeah, but she also wants to ship the children, too. Like, what did the children do to her?
Nothing. She just wants to be a better mama than Isabel.
Yeah. Her whole thing is she wants a calm, peaceful life as a mother, because that's the best life that she was able to get, period, because of the situation that the world is in. So, and the quickest way to do that was to take down Isabella and team up with them. But her overall goal was to try to get evidence of them trying to escape before they escaped, but if they escaped, it wasn't her problem. That was her thinking.
Yeah, but like, it just begs the question, though. Like, I had it in my head. She was talking about how there are different sections for the adults, and if they go outside the sections, their heart explodes. But
yeah, that's if they leave the farm.
With that being said, does that mean that, like, there's more rules than just mama? Because, like, they talked about how they still need people for farming and stuff to feed these food, like, kids.
Well, she does come in as a sister, which is a role.
Okay.
That's not mama.
I reviewed the panels of Crone's death. So, interesting little detail is they do kill her with the flower. They stab it into her heart, and that kills her. But a small detail that I'm noticing in these panels specifically, they stab it into her, and before they stab it into her, it's buds, but when they stab it into her, it blooms.
Yeah, it's closed, and it's actually a white color in the anime, and when they stab it, it like blooms, and as it blooms,
it turns what?
Red.
Okay.
With the like blood red.
I wonder if that's how they get their extractions for more children, is through those flowers. Because now that I think about it, if those flowers are drinking,
they're plants.
Dude,
they could be specially designed for that purpose, though, to draw the blood in order to have, like, some start of the process of, like, something new. Like,
I mean, that would be really, really wrong scientifically, but sure, I guess we can go from that point.
And the pen that she left.
Anime.
I know, but no, I mean, a lot of things, they still try to base this in general science. You see it a lot. I mean, sometimes they get stuff really wrong, but they have the right general idea. That would be the complete wrong general idea. You don't start humans from their blood.
Yes. A lot.
Well, I mean, if you look, I did a project on, like, anime physics. No person is capable of jumping as high as a building and jumping roof to roof.
I'm not talking about physics.
Let alone moving moving faster than the eye can track.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about physics, though. I'm talking about just general science ideas.
Just look at Dr. Stone.
Never
He's
seen it.
got
But
okay.
if we go
Dr.
to
Stone is heavily based on science.
I know, but I mean,
But
even
that-
JoJo's involves a lot of science that they get just purely wrong, but a lot of the general ideas are correct, which is my main idea. I'm not talking about physics or anything like that. I'm just saying
Or vampires or...
I know that a lot of stuff, but a lot of times you start from one thing and you take it another place, or you take something from one idea. So a lot of times they take general ideas of science and then they make it wonky, and that's how a lot of shows and creators create their magic and their realm. That's all I'm saying.
Also, I went back and looked at the pen that Crone left for them. It looks like it might be coordinates or some kind of code. Because it says B, then underneath that is 06-32. It might even be a date. But I don't know what the 32 would be. So I'm going to scratch that date idea off. But maybe they changed like how the calendar works.
Well, one of the things that is interesting though is when Corone was hiding the pen, Bella walks in the room, or she's about to leave. So you would think that Isabella would try to look for whatever Corone was doing, like would at least have searched around that general area of where she was, especially if she had suspicions of her being traitorous.
Did he leave again?
No,
Or is just everyone quiet?
everyone was quiet.
Yeah.
No, Isabella goes to Sister Crone's room to give her the letter that she's been removed.
Yeah, it was like I don't think that she caught her in that moment.
No, she did not. Also, she dies in chapter 23.
Okay, well, I was in the range at least. Because I said somewhere after 20.
It was somewhere in the 3 volumes.
Okay. I think the guy who owned the books before them was William Minerva. I think he's the scientist that, Crone interacted with that one time.
Well, she didn't interact with him. She only saw him.
She saw him, but she also sent a letter out with like the balloon, and he ended up getting it. I think they're the same scientist because they look exactly the same. But it also could just be that they chose a generic design for scientists.
Jake, this is going to be a bitch for you to edit. Only because it's been like 2 hours.
It's been an hour and a half at this point. Cat, get down. Thank you. You're hurting me.
Well, there's just so much mystery and so much things to talk about this anime. We probably still missed a lot of detail and stuff too.
Go away, kitty cat.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to unpack in just the 3 volumes that we've read.
Yeah, there's a lot, which makes it really, really good because I feel like if you're reading it and paying attention, you're going to pick up on little things. Such as the flower blooming and just
also, I'm pretty sure it even mentions at one point that Emma is actually the more athletic one out of the 3.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
She is the faster and stronger physically. Yeah.
Also, does anybody feel like Phil is just a little too smart for a 6-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
feel
Because it seems like
feel-
every time they like come to a conclusion about something, Phil did something to influence it.
I feel like Phil is actually going to betray them, or is like the new spy for Mama.
Is
Like,
Phil really 6 years old? Because in Donna, are they both or Gil? What's her name? Gilna?
Gilla?
Gilla.
Gilda?
Gilda.
Yes. It was a
It's
G
pronounced
though.
Gilda.
Gilda.
I know somebody who has that name. It's pronounced with a J, even though it's a G.
I don't like
Well-
that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, people can pronounce names differently. People in Europe pronounce my name Gabi.
Gabi.
My mom's name is Kara, but people call her Kara all the time.
Yeah, and people spell
Well-
it the same way but pronounce it different ways too.
people pronounce my name Picard when it's Paco. So
Wait,
We're
what?
talking about first names though, Kevin. But anyways,
I thought we were just talking about names in general.
if we're just talking about no, we were talking about like more easily messed up names, like G versus J and Kara versus Kara, that kind of thing. But anyways, what did you say before that, Jake? That just distracted me. What was I talking about? Oh, are they both 6 years old?
Oh no, you're thinking of
Wait.
of Dawn and Gilda.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Oh, I remember who it is. Sorry, my
Yeah,
brain.
Phil is
just
the
had a
little
mess up.
one that was like, Morse code.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
how
then
he came
Emma
to
made
that
the connection.
conclusion, though.
Then
He was
Emma
reading
made
a book about Morse code.
Yeah.
Yeah, he read a book about Morse code and learned the language, and then just read it in a book.
Yeah. And then Emma found all the other books.
Yeah, she went and looked for all the books that were owned by William Minerva.
Written by.
I think they
I'm
were
pretty
just
sure.
owned.
No, they were all written by, but the publishers were all different, and the editors were all different, and a bunch of other things. But
I thought he just
pretty
owned
sure.
them and donated them, type of deal.
I'm
And
pretty.
he just marked them with a seal, like owned by William Minerva.
I'm pretty. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was the one who wrote them. I'll have to read it again to find out, but
Yeah. All right. Is there any last things you guys want to talk about?
Well, yeah, with the whole mark, like those bookmarks, those were actually intentionally planted there. Like, I don't think he wrote the books, but those seals were definitely his, and everything.
All right. Since
Oh, we didn't talk about favorite characters yet.
Okay. Well, all right. We can talk about favorite characters, and then we're gonna wrap up.
Okay.
So, Johnny, who's your favorite character so far?
Yeah, we're just wrapping up.
Quite honestly, I'm gonna have to say Isabel is my favorite character so far. I'm one of those people who loves a good villain. And the thing about Isabella is she is intimidating.
No, I said, oh, wow.
Kevin.
And not only is she
I muted
intimidating.
him. Sorry, keep going, Johnny.
Not only is she intimidating, but she is extremely smart. I'm all about the smart and powerful villains, and Isabella is definitely, she's not like powerful in a sense where she could break the world or anything, but she controls everything, and she is more powerful than the protagonists, and I just love that kind of villain to death. So Isabella, in my opinion, is one of my favorite villains. I don't know if she's top 10 per se, but she's definitely one of my favorite villains.
She's really intimidating. She's not. I can't quite tell if Sister Crone is more intimidating or Isabella is.
They're intimidating in different ways.
Isabella is probably more like she doesn't look
Who's your favorite
intimidating,
character?
but she's really smart.
Yeah. Let's go Kevin next. Kevin, who's your favorite character?
Honestly, it was hard for me to really pick and decide. Like, I think for me personally, I have to have decided on Emma just because of how pure and innocent and like just how she can also pretend that everything's okay and put on a straight strong face and like hide everything well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. She's got quite the willpower.
It takes a lot to keep something like that hidden from all your siblings, as well as make it seem like nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm. Gabby, who's your favorite character?
I like how you just skipped over yourself.
I'll go last.
Mm-hmm. My favorite character is probably a tie between Norman and Emma.
Okay, why? It's a pretty good choice.
I mean, I guess same reasons that Kevin said for Emma, but then Norman is really smart and sweet, and also he's just adorable.
Yeah, it's still sad that Norman and Emma don't really like talk about their relationship. Like, I know it's like
They're
supposed to be like
11 years old.
I know, but I mean, at 11,
And they
everybody has.
Well, they
What?
also have like something a little bit more pressing at the hand.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have my first crush till I was 13, so
My real first crush didn't even happen until I was like 14 or 15.
yeah, see?
My
And
first
also
crush, I was like 7, so
we don't necessarily know if it's like a crush either, because they do consider themselves siblings in a lot of ways. But it's clear that he does love Emma more than the other siblings. But like I said, they're 11, so
yeah, this ain't no Onani Master Kurosawa.
I don't even want to go there. I don't know my opinion. I like you're saying I missed the gem, but I honestly don't know.
It's awful but funny but awful but great.
okay, now Jake, now tell us your favorite character.
I think my favorite character is Ray.
Oh,
There's
interesting.
just like I don't know how to feel about him, so he's the character I keep thinking about. So I guess that makes him my favorite because he has the most interesting stuff going on. Like he's like he's the bat he's like an antagonist but a protagonist that's an antagonist.
You could there's a word for that. There's called a deuteragonist.
Deuteragonist?
Yeah, it's someone who is who helps and or hinders the main character while also being an extremely important character to the plot.
Okay.
I didn't even know that was such a thing until just now.
Creative writing class senior year, you failed me.
I knew it was a thing, but I forgot the term. As per
Yeah.
usual.
I'm gonna forget
The
this
only reason
term
why
after
I'm aware of the
this.
term is because I will fight you if you say anything about Askeladd from Vinland Saga. If you say that he's an antagonist, I will fight you. He's not an antagonist.
In which anime?
Vinland Saga.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen that one.
Dude, it's so good, but I don't think they have a dub for it, so I don't think you would watch it.
I watched sub. I never said I'm against sub.
Okay, I just
just
assumed because you were waiting for the dub for One Piece. Okay.
No, it's just more of the fact that like I'm not the greatest when it comes to my English or my reading strengths. So by the time I'm like almost halfway finished a sentence, they've already moved on to the second or third sentence.
Ah, I see. Yes.
I have that happen sometimes, but then I'm just like, I can just kind of guess what happened. But if I'm like, all right, I really need to know what they said, then I just rewind a little bit.
I'm a fast reader. I most of the time finish the sentence before they're done saying the sentence.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, no, I'm very bad with English comprehension because I couldn't fully read until the 6th grade.
Oh gosh.
I could read, but not well.
Mine was until like I wasn't able to read until about grade 9 or 9 plus, pretty much.
I had reading difficulties in the 2nd grade, but my school was really good and I got to go to like a special class, and now I'm like, and then I became like an avid intense reader when I was young.
Well, it wasn't until university I started getting like, actually no, my English marks were still average. Never mind. But I still passed uni English.
I have a slight version of dyslexia, but it's not to the point where it completely hinders my reading capabilities.
I have ADD, so like I
Same.
get distracted. So like in the middle of reading a sentence, I'll have to restart it.
I have a pigness retinus, so I have a harder time with like peripheral vision and dark vision, which doesn't help with my reading. I thought we were just naming off our weaknesses.
All right.
I mean, if we were doing that,
no, we are not doing that.
All right, let's wrap up. Johnny, you got any social media you want to shout out?
No. We have to rate, Jake.
Right, the ratings. Right, Johnny, what would you rate this on a scale from 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I honestly would give it an 8. Okay. I love the story, love the characters. Well, the thing about the characters is that I more love Isabella than I do any of the other characters at this point. The other characters, I don't get me wrong, I like them. They're at least characters that I have an interest in, but I'm not like super connected with these characters personally. And the art, phenomenal. I'm a huge art nerd, so if you can do something phenomenal with your art, I'm all on board.
Mm-hmm. Gabi, what would you rate the Promised Neverland?
I'd give it a 9.
Okay. Why?
Why do I have to say why?
It's kind of part of the whole reviewing process.
I mean, we kind of just talked about this for like 3 hours, but okay, it was 2 hours. I really liked the art, and I liked the story, and I liked the characters all completely. That's why I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay. Kevin, what do you rate The Promised Neverland?
A flat out 10. Like, I mean, I know it seems like I'm giving it really good praise, but not only was the art phenomenal, like the character, every character had like, okay, bye. Every character. Yes, we're wrapping it up right now, Kara. Can I just finish what I'm trying to say? Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll meet you there. Oh, you're going to bed soon. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, sorry about that. Like the art was phenomenal. The characters they were really well written and developed, and just, oh, for crying out loud. So the characters are really well written, and just everyone was like really well thought out, and each one had their weaknesses, but they also made up for each other with their strengths. And like, did I touch up on story yet?
I think so.
Okay. Like, I really enjoyed the art, but I have to give a +1 for atmospheric mood. Like, they had, like, it was just such a thrilling tenseness that that you just wanted to keep on reading, and you just couldn't stop reading. I was disappointed when I came to our stopping point, and they they just did atmosphere really well, because you had the light moments where everybody was playing, everybody was cheerful, everybody, it's just this, and then you have what the fuck just happened moments. So, like, that's why I would give it a 10.
Okay. I would also give it... Yeah, I'd give it a 10. I would give it a 10. Yes.
Where does your... I was just going to say, where does your +1 come from, Jake?
Honestly, the fact that it made me want to keep reading and reading and reading. Like, when I reached the end point, I was like, all right, I want to keep reading. But I was like, if I keep reading, I'm not going to be able to keep myself from being like, guys, this is the answer. Because I have a tendency to do that.
Yeah, you would just end up probably reading all 180 volumes.
Chapters. Not volumes.
Chapters. Yeah.
Because, like,
that's a lot of volumes.
I don't think One Piece has that many volumes.
No, it has like 80 or 90.
I think Detective Conan has around that many volumes at this point.
Okay. Also, sorry about the conversation with Kara that you have to edit out.
It's fine.
I was in the middle of saying something, and then she kind of interrupted, and that's why I was getting mad.
We could hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, my +1 goes from, like, definitely like what Kevin said, the atmosphere, because they definitely had a real grasp on how to make everything felt cheery, but at the same time, it felt something bad was going to happen the entire time.
The suspense was there.
Yeah.
100%.
It's really, really... It's really good, and honestly, that's why I gave it a 9, but we've talked about this before. I have issues with giving things 10, so...
Well, then give it 9.5!
Nope, it gets a 9. It doesn't get a +5 extra for anything. I'm giving it a 9.
The day Gabi rates something a 10 will be the end of the world.
Well, in my opinion, you shouldn't have too many things a 10 out of 10.
Well, I mean, it is your opinion.
It is your opinion,
subjective,
yes, but in my opinion, when it comes down to it, a 10 out of 10 is the best thing you've ever seen, 100%. And based on
it's not the only best thing. It doesn't have to be one of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm saying it. It's not the best thing, but it's one of them.
Like, I was tempted to put
based on your current way of rating things, I have to say that is even more so. That's just my opinion, but yeah. However, if you took into account like how much you enjoy it, that can be something completely different.
Also, to take into account this, remember, this is only the first 3 volumes. Like, if we read more and things happen, we could rate it less. When we rate things, it's only the first 3 volumes.
Like, I live by the motto, like, for anime especially, a 3-episode rule, pretty much. For manga, it's the 3-volume rule. Don't judge anything until you've read 3 volumes or have at least watched 3 episodes of the anime.
I feel like with a manga, you can kind of tell if you're gonna like it with 1 volume, maybe 2, because you get a lot from like 1 volume versus 1 episode of an anime.
Especially in a show such as Promised Neverland.
Yeah,
there's a lot that has
in
gone
the first volume. Anyway, Johnny, do you have any social media you want to shout out?
Well, I got at Johnny LTA on Twitter, and I have my own YouTube channel, Johnny Let's Talk Anime, where I talk about anime, believe it or not.
Wow, surprising.
Wow.
It's almost like you had an idea about what you wanted to do with your channel.
What? Yeah.
So are you our anti-channel? Are you our anti-channel then?
What?
They're not. What? How are they anti?
Johnny, we're now arch rivals.
I also actually am working on a webtoon as well. It is Titan Nova over on Webtoons, if you want to go check that out. I am currently rewriting the first chapter because honestly, my first I was a little hasty with posting the first chapter, and I need to fine tune it. But I am gonna be trying to post it at least once. Post a new chapter once a month.
Woohoo! Maybe we'll look into that.
Subscribed.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
I read a lot of webtoons. I read so many webtoons.
Webtoon is amazing. My current favorite one is Unordinary.
That is an amazing one. I'm not caught up though.
I think my second favorite one is Gosu. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I think I have to read Homestuck.
No, that's not even a webtoon.
Ooh, and this isn't on Webtoon last I checked.
It is a webcomic, but it's not a webtoon.
Solo Leveling.
Ooh, I've actually looked into that. I think that got an anime,
pretty good,
didn't it?
No. But God of High School and God did.
Yeah.
God of High School is phenomenal as well. I've actually read quite a bit of that.
Gabby.
I've heard of Noblesse. That's also getting an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Tower of God got an anime.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Tower of God, the anime, isn't that great in my opinion. It's not the worst thing in the world.
You said God of High School, not Tower of God.
He cut out.
Oh, okay, because I was like...
But I knew what he said, just because those were
I like
two.
I like the Tower of God anime, or not anime, but webtoon more than I like the anime personally.
That's usually how it goes, I feel like.
However, based on the trailer of Tower of God, not Tower of God, oh gosh, God of High School, I might really enjoy the anime version a little bit more, because that is definitely fight based. Like, it is surrounded. There's not much for plot, gonna be honest, but I love the characters, and the fights in the webtoon is phenomenal, and the art is great. And just based on some of the trailers that I've seen, it looks like the fights are gonna be god tier. No pun intended.
All right, Gabby.
Follow me on Twitter at ShowMeYourManga.
Kevin, have you made any social medias?
Not yet. I'm thinking of a few social medias though that have to do with making my own little web clan, I guess I would call it.
Okay.
Like an actual, where we talk about like graphic design and web design and that sort of stuff. Because I don't have enough peers to talk to on with that sort of interest.
Sounds like Reddit would be a good place for you to go.
Isn't that have to do with like porn memes and stuff?
What?
I mean, if that's the subreddits you go on to, but Reddit just is like
It's a
thing
place
for communities.
Yeah.
Literally, I sent you a picture from a Reddit post I posted today from a subreddit called Put an Egg on It, which is literally just putting eggs on food.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very erotic.
Alright, and you can follow me at Make Me Your Manga. And you can follow the podcast at Stick
Manga.
It to the Sit Manga. Fuck me. You can follow the podcast at Sit Manga on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find us on YouTube at Stick It to the Manga. Basically, Google Stick It to the Manga and you'll find our YouTube channel. It's the first thing. Alright. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave a comment below, and we'll see you next time.
And thank you to Johnny for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny.
Thanks for having me.
Never come back.
Thanks for coming.
Okay.
Except for part 2.
Except for part 2.
Alright. Bye-bye, manga fans.
Bye.
Later.